speaking of seeing, I wonder if from here we can better see where we are.
Vsauce, I'm Jake, and where are we? I honestly have no idea
let's
how
come back
we
inside.
got here or where here is. Hello?
So that was definitely
Hello?
me down there, but I'm also up here.
Maybe the person in the house
which means that
has
this
some
can't
information.
be mental time travel.
What? On my
But
arm.
the loop thing does make a lot more sense now.
Yes.
there's also another type that you might have
We
seen
were
before
talking about
called
time
VHS
travel, weren't
time
we?
travel or
And
video
in pop
cassette
culture, there are different
time
types.
travel, where
For example,
the present
mental
is now
time
with
travel.
a play button. In the past, with rewind.
Mental time travel in pop culture is when you physically don't go back in time. That is to say that your body doesn't travel backwards in time, but your mind does. This can be seen in movies like Groundhog Day or Edge of Tomorrow, where they remember future events even though they're in the past.
I have a wonder pen in my pocket.
Throw some of these rocks
Alright.
up there, we can get someone's
It's
attention.
a loop.
Hello!
Okay, you know, I should have remembered about those rocks. That was my bad.
Now,
It's
mental
alright.
time travel, or
We'll just go,
MTT,
we'll watch
is
this
very
off.
curious
I'll write
because it
it again.
avoids a lot of
With
potential
MTT
paradoxes.
is
The Cassandra
now
also
open,
allowing
which
you
is
to
when
potentially
correct
influence
interpretations
the future.
This is all pointing to a
If you
time.
could see the future, does not,
And
or
you
be
decided to
seen.
tell everyone about
Or
it.
fast forward, who would believe you?
to avoid
Would probably
writing your past.
just be
Your
dismissed.
future self. I mean, I don't really know what happens, but according to pop culture,
One of the problems with MTT is the
now
Cassandra dilemma,
open,
which is when correct future predictions or warnings are
this is all
ignored.
pointing to a
If
time.
you could see the future, and you decided to tell everyone about it, who would believe you?
to avoid
Would
writing
probably
your past.
just be
Your
dismissed.
future self. I mean, I don't really know what happens, but according to pop culture, it's not good. All the space and time would disappear.
The Cassandra dilemma originated from a Greek myth about the aforementioned Cassandra, the daughter of the king of Troy. The Greek god Apollo fell in love with her and gave her the gift of prophecy. But when she did not reciprocate his feelings, Apollo made it that no one would ever believe the prophecies she'd seen, even if they were true. And speaking of seeing, I wonder if from up here we can better see where we are. Vsauce, I'm Jake, and where are we? I honestly have no idea
okay, let's come back
how
inside.
we got here or where here is.
So that was definitely me down there, but I'm also up here,
Maybe the person in the house,
which means that this
has some
can't be
information.
mental time travel.
What? On
But
my
the
arm.
loop thing does make a lot more sense now. I mean, there's also
Okay,
another type
okay.
that you might have seen
We were
before
talking
called
about
VHS
time travel,
time
weren't
travel
we?
or video
And in pop
cassette
culture, there are
time
different
travel,
types.
where
For example,
the present is now
mental
just
time
with
travel.
a play button. In the past, with rewind. What we are currently experiencing isn't VHS time travel either, because I was able to interfere by writing this
Mine does.
note. A very
This can be
poor
seen in
note that
movies
didn't
like
really tell me
Groundhog Day or
what
Edge
was
of
going
Tomorrow,
on. I probably
where
should
they
have written
remember
something
future
better, like,
events,
it's a loop.
even though they're in the past.
Yes, okay, do we have a wonder pen in my pocket?
Throw some of these rocks
Alright.
up there, we can get someone's
It's
attention.
a loop.
Hello!
Okay, you know, I should have remembered about those rocks. That was my bad.
Now,
It's
mental
alright.
time travel,
We'll
or
just go, we'll
MTT,
wash
is
this
very
off.
curious
I'll write
because
it
of all
again.
the problems with MTT.
This door is
the
now
Cassandra dilemma,
open,
which is when correct
Actually,
future predictions or warnings are
This is all
ignored.
pointing to a
If
time.
you could see the future, and you decided to tell everyone about it, who would believe you?
to avoid writing
Probably
your past.
just be
Your
dismissed.
future self. I mean, I don't really know what happens, but according to pop culture, it's not good. All space and time could disappear. All reality as we know it might vanish. Your mental state might just be even worse than mine, and it's not good. Let's check. Hold on. As I was saying before, what we are currently experiencing is a kind of time loop. It's an isolated sequence of events where one action is the cause of the next, and it just continues on forward until we reach our final event, which is generally the cause of the first event, if not the first event itself. And then we just go around and around. This brings up an interesting philosophical dilemma, which is that if everything that will happen has already happened, if everything is just a complete copy of the previous sequence,
Can't remember the future.
can anything be changed? If I were to stand up right now and walk out that door, would I be making my own choice? Or would it be the same choice that a previous version of me made? How many times has this happened? How would you ever know what was your own decision or one already decided for you? The dilemma becomes knowing you don't have freedom of choice, but still acting like you do.
The causal loop is unchanging. There is no free will, there is no origin. It resets every time, so you can't learn from your mistakes because you can't remember them. We should move though before Bathroom Jake gets out. So how did the loop begin? Well, that's the problem. That's the paradox. There is no beginning and there is no end. There is no escape. Ask yourself, if you're watching this video, are you also in a loop? How do you know that you're not reliving the same moment in time again and again and again? You can remember the past, but you can't remember the future. Can anything be changed? If I were to stand up right now and walk out that door, would I be making my own choice? Or would it be the same choice that a previous version of me made? How many times has this happened? How would you ever know? You know, this reminds me of a quote by author Douglas Adams. This is rather as if you imagine a puddle waking up one morning and thinking, this is an interesting world I find myself in, an interesting hole I find myself in. Fits me rather neatly, doesn't it? In fact, it fits me staggeringly well. Must have been made to have me in it. This is such a powerful idea that as the sun rises in the sky and the air heats up, and as gradually the puddle gets smaller and smaller, frantically hanging on to the notion that everything's going to be all right, because this world was meant to have him in it. It was built to have him in it. So the moment he disappears, catches him rather by surprise. You know, we always try and hold on to the past. This is the last door. Might as well give it a try, huh? There's another kind of time travel, a wormhole. It's something that takes you from one point in space and time and places you somewhere else. It acts as a time bridge connecting one place to another, continuing my causal loop. And, as always, thanks for watching.